The Gaza Strip, a land marked by enduring resilience and profound turmoil, has once again become the epicenter of significant unrest. In recent days, a rare and noteworthy wave of protests has emerged, with hundreds of Palestinians taking to the streets of northern Gaza, voicing their dissent against Hamas and calling for an end to the ongoing conflict with Israel. Such public demonstrations against Hamas are uncommon, given the group's stringent control over the region. The protesters' chants of "Hamas out" echo a deep-seated frustration among Gaza's residents who have endured years of hardship under Hamas's governance. Hamas seized control of the Gaza Strip in 2007, following a violent conflict with Fatah forces. Since then, the region has been subjected to a blockade imposed by Israel and Egypt, aimed at preventing the flow of weapons to Hamas but also severely restricting the movement of goods and people. This blockade has crippled Gaza's economy, leading to high unemployment rates and deteriorating living conditions. The situation escalated dramatically on October 7, 2023, when Hamas launched a surprise attack on southern Israel, resulting in approximately 1,200 Israeli deaths and the capture of around 251 hostages. This act prompted a severe military response from Israel, plunging the region into a prolonged and devastating conflict. Since the onset of hostilities, the Palestinian Ministry of Health reports that over 50,000 Palestinians have been killed with more than 113,000 injured. The toll on civilians has been catastrophic, with women and children comprising a significant portion of the casualties. The relentless bombardment has decimated Gaza's infrastructure. Hospitals, schools and residential areas lie in ruins. The United Nations estimates that approximately 85% of Gaza's 2.3 million residents have been displaced, seeking refuge wherever they can find it. The economic ramifications are equally dire. Unemployment rates have soared above 50%, plunging many families into abject poverty. The blockade has stifled commerce, leading to shortages of essential goods and services. In response, Hamas has imposed heavy taxes on basic commodities, further burdening the populace and fueling public discontent. The international community has expressed growing concern over the escalating violence. Notably, UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and US President Donald Trump have discussed efforts to establish a ceasefire in Gaza. However, previous diplomatic initiatives have yielded limited success, leaving many skeptical about the prospects for a lasting peace. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has firmly defended the resumption of airstrikes in Gaza, saying that negotiations on restoring the ceasefire would continue only under fire. And I have promised you many times, if Hamas persists in its refusal and does not release our hostages, we will return to fighting. And indeed, we have returned to fighting. We have returned to fighting with strength. Together with the Minister of Defense, I accepted the recommendation of the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, and our security officials to resume intense fighting against Hamas. From now on, Israel will act against Hamas with ever-increasing force. From now on, negotiations will take place only under fire. Citizens of Israel, for many long weeks, we have worked tirelessly toward one goal: to exhaust every effort to bring back our hostages. We prolonged the ceasefire. We prolonged the ceasefire for weeks while no hostages were returned. We dispatched delegations to Doha. We dispatched delegations to Cairo. We submitted proposals along with the mediators. We accepted proposals. We accepted the proposal of US envoy Witkoff. In contrast, Hamas repeatedly rejected every proposal. Expressing dissent in Gaza carries significant risks. Hamas has a history of suppressing opposition, often responding to protests with arrests and force. Reports indicate that during previous demonstrations, Hamas security forces have detained protesters, journalists, and human rights activists, underscoring the challenges faced by those who dare to speak out. As Gaza stands at this critical juncture, the path forward remains uncertain. The recent protests signal a potential shift in the public's willingness to challenge the status quo. Yet, without meaningful political change and international support, the cycle of conflict and suffering is likely to persist. The resilience of Gaza's people endures, but their hopes rest on the possibility of a future defined by peace, dignity, and self-determination.